Hello everyone, this is Gene and I'm back with another video. So, I got a few questions and comments on the last video, and I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. I got a few questions and comments regarding the Yu Yu Hakusho reference that I made, in particular to the battle between Kurama and Yu Kaito. So, since there seems to be an interest, I decided to make a video about it. So, here's the thing, right? Yu Yu Hakusho was a early 1990s shonen anime, which was known for its creative battles. And this is probably one of the most, at least to anime fans, famous examples of the show's creativity. So, let me give you guys a little bit of a recap of that battle, and I will also leave links in the description to where you can find it online, both in anime form and in the manga form. Now, keep in mind, especially for the anime form, that Funimation did the dub for the anime, and while Funimation isn't exactly anime fans' favorite company these days due to the Vic Mignogna situation, they did do a very good dub for that show. I can't deny that. This was nearly 20 years ago. Very different time and a very different company. So, most of the images, or not images, most of the video clips that you'll find online are probably going to be in English, just so you know. So, keep that in mind. I don't know where to find too many of the sub versions, so the links will probably be dubbed. So if you're like me, very upset with Funimation because of the Vic Mignogna situation, you may want to keep that in mind. But anyway, on to the review of the Kurama Kaito battle. So Yu Yu Hakusho. This battle takes place in the third season of the show. And the third season was very, very dark in tone and in storyline and everything. It was a big departure from the first two seasons, which had been very standard 1990s shonen anime, very action oriented. This season, I should say, was also very action oriented, but again, it just had a darker tone. It had deeper themes, and of course, it had this gentleman here, Shinobu Sensui, who I think pretty much embodies all of the darkness of that season. He was the main antagonist for that particular season, and the effects of what he does in that season even carry on into season 4. But that's a story for another day. So let's get to this battle between Kurama and Kaito. So what happens is that right after the end of the Dark Tournament, which closed out season 2, right? Season 3 starts with our main protagonist, Yusuke Urameshi, being kidnapped. Now, this is a big deal because Team Urameshi, pictured here, had just won the Season 2 Dark Tournament, which pretty much meant that they were the baddest fighters in the land, right? It was this very violent, bloody, deadly martial arts tournament, and they ended up being the victors. So naturally, if you're able to kidnap the guy who is the leader of the team, right, you're pretty dang strong, right? So what happens is that Kuwabara, Yusuke's best friend, ends up looking for and recruiting Kurama, Hiei, and Botan to help him find Yusuke. So what happens after that is that Team Urameshi, or at least what is available at that time, namely Kuwabara, Botan, Kurama, and Hiei, go to the House of Third Dimensions. And this is the guy that they encounter there. Their first challenge is a young man known as Yu Kaito. Now, Kaito is a fellow student in Kurama's class, right? They both go to the same high school. But the thing about Kaito is that while he's a teen genius and he's a literary genius, He's hyped up to be this big threat. Kurama is all that much better, and it eats Kaito up that Kurama is so much better than him. So Kaito is looking to use this battle as a means to prove that he is better than his rival. Okay, so what happens is that Kaito explains how the rules of his powers work, which is that pretty much anything that he speaks or any rules that he set come to life. So, for example, if he says the word, say, hot, right? If he says that you can't say that word, then that word cannot be spoken. And if he, for example, says that there will be no violence in his territory, that's exactly what happens. And Hiei ends up proving both of these rules true. Hiei tries to attack him with his sword. It doesn't really work. The sword shatters upon impact. And then Hiei, because he's Hiei, defiantly says the word hot in an attempt to prove that you can't tell him what to do. What happens is that Hiei ends up losing his soul. So Hiei's arrogance and disrespect end up proving that indeed what Kaito says is true. If you break the rules of his territory, you end up losing your soul. So what happens after that is that Kuwabara and Botan are left. So what happens with them is they eventually go to there's like a small kitchen area in the house, and they go to the kitchen area to get something to drink and cool off because Kaito has made the room unbearably warm excuse me, in an attempt to get them to speak the magic word. So what happens is that Kuwabara offers Botan something to drink, and he says that they can share the drink with each other, which suddenly causes him to lose his soul. Botan, in a panic, says, "But he didn't say hot!" And then, of course, she ends up losing her own soul. So what happened with Kuwabara was that while he did not overtly speak the word the same way Hiei and Botan did, he did end up inadvertently spelling the word hot. The end of each, right? Each ends on an H, and the first two letters of other are O-T. So he ends up spelling the word hot in the sentence, and that's what causes Kuwabara to lose his soul. So after these events, Kaito has the three souls of Hiei, Botan, and Kuwabara, which of course, him being the bad guy in the situation, he threatens to harm. Kurama threatens to harm him in return, making one of his signature cold-blooded threats. So what happens is that you have a battle of wits between two very intelligent individuals who both know the rules of the game, and neither one is going to actually speak the word. So what happens is that Kurama plays on Kaito's ego and gets him to actually change the rules of the game. So the new game they end up playing is one that every few seconds they set a time limit because they have to try to find Yusuke within a certain amount of time, so they can't spend too long on this. So Kurama sets a time limit, and every few minutes they lose another letter in the Japanese alphabet. Of course, in the English translation it becomes the English alphabet, but you get the point, right? And at a certain point, eventually, they're all the letters are lost, and you can't say anything. So, in a battle where you have two intelligent men who are not going to break the rules, and who are by the end unable to speak, who will win? So that's basically the setup for the battle. It's actually quite intelligent, and it's interesting how the battle is settled. It's something that you would not expect. At least in my opinion, it's something that you wouldn't expect. And it shows off just how intelligent and creative, first of all, the characters in the series are, and in a greater sense, how creative Togashi, who wrote Yu Yu Hakusho, how creative he is when it comes to his battles. So this is one of my favorite battles in the series, and certainly one of my favorites involving my favorite character of Kurama. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to look for links so you guys can watch it or read about it, and let me know what you think. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.